Test 1, 2.
Can you guys hear us okay?
Can you hear us?
Loud and clear.
Perfect.
Awesome. All right. Well, as always,
hello, mate.
We follow up our initial welcome to the Crimson Brush with a sit down with you, my friend.
We do.
As we sort of go through the organisational team. We're back.
We are back for 2025.
4 years. 4 years. It's so cool.
Where has the time gone?
That's a great question.
Hey Seb, hey JC.
That is a great question.
Hey.
Where's the time gone?
Yeah.
Well, hopefully, if all these miniatures are anything to go by, time has gone into painting figures. So.
It has. It's been pretty crazy this morning. It's now just 11.
Yeah, so we've been taking entries for 2 hours.
Yep, for 2 hours. We're at over 250.
Yeah.
So it's looking very, very promising.
You're loving bright yellow shoes, yeah.
I have to stand out so people can find me.
The brush style mic, yeah, it's nice, isn't it? It's definitely on brand. So, tell you what, are you loving the merchandise for this year?
The merch this year is spectacular.
Yeah.
Bunny did the little design for it this year, and I like the red shirts. That's a nice little appeal for the sort of management organising team.
It helps us stand out so that people, if they need us, can come and grab us.
Yeah, we got the lanyards, we got everything. We got pens even this
year.
Yeah. Full professional.
Tattoos. We've got every year we try
temporary
to
tattoos. Yeah.
Temporary tattoos. Wait, Deno, can you bring over some of the cookies? As always, we've got cookies from Can't Cake This.
Yeah.
This year we changed the style up. So I guess it's probably no secret that we like to indulge a little bit on all this extra fun stuff, and that's probably because we've got some of the organisation team work in design, so they like to have a bit of fun with it, yourself 100%. Included there. So,
yeah.
You always put in such a huge amount of effort, Benny, in the lead up to this, with getting all of our streaming elements together. So, obviously, that's always always interesting to see what you cook up.
Yeah,
so you just surprised another really cool thing on us. You just pulled a poster out of nowhere. You want to tell us about that?
Yeah, so for this year, part of the sponsorship from Let's Play Games was they wanted a poster that they were going to distribute across Australia to 150 different hobby stores. So this year I had to make up a poster, just kind of talking about the event and everything like that, but I asked Jules if he could give us one more as a little surprise. So this one, what we're going to do is have everyone who comes and enters a model sign this poster, and basically the best in show winner will get to take that home as this was their year. You know, they got the poster sort of commemorate the year, and I think it's kind of cool. So.
It's great. I think it's just a great way to send on a little message to whoever it is that takes down the event.
Yeah.
That you support them and you want to celebrate them and their efforts. So
yeah.
I know I wrote a little message on there just saying congratulations on your best in show.
Exactly. Yeah. So
super cool, nice little fun thing.
Yeah, because it's gonna be every year we're gonna have a different poster. So we thought that will be a nice little thing that whoever wins the whole event can take it home and cherish it just as like this is my year.
Yeah, so, for sure. It's awesome.
But you know what Saturday is?
Yeah.
Saturday's standard day.
Saturday is standard day. So
we have to show this first.
We'll show these fun little things.
Model view.
Standard Saturday.
Yeah, standard Saturday.
So here's our fun little cookies from Can't Cake this year. These are very indulgent. We do these every year. They're just a fun little treat we give you at the desk when you enter your figures.
Yeah.
Entering your figures in a competition, even if you're an experienced entrant, can be a bit of a stressful. It's probably the most stressful part of the day for people coming to the event.
It's definitely probably some of the most daunting. That's where people get the shakes the most, and even then, people trying to unpack their models, right?
Yeah, I can see Seamus right now. He looks like he's trying to unpack a whole host of figures. So.
Yep.
Yeah, it's definitely the part of the day that we have to consistently work on making sure it's a smooth system.
Yeah, so. that is by far probably the hardest part of the day is just registration.
Yeah, so having a fun little snack there that people get, hopefully just come down a minute, chill. Get the sugar levels up. This is also what we feed. This is what we feed Dave.
This is what keeps Dave Colwell.
This is Dave Colwell's energy source for the first 6 hours of Crimson Brush every year as he's slammed in a corner taking photos like a madman. So there's a few little bits and bobs that we've got around. Obviously, yeah, we've got that awesome poster.
Oh, we got the Masters pin.
We've got our Masters pin. We did show this earlier.
Oh, did we? Sweet.
What I don't know that we explained, but everyone who enters Masters gets one of these.
Yep.
This is to
the
celebrate
achievement. Yeah, of just entering.
Yeah, the journey so far. So
100%.
now we as we like to tend to do when we do this early morning Saturday stream like we did last year, we're going to start to bring on just some things that are some of our helpers around are bringing over to take a look at from the standard range. We'll both do a bit of speaking on this.
Yeah.
I'll probably let you handle the speaking as I do the miniature view. And then we'll get that going. There's some fun ones to start with. Let's kick off with this one here is very interesting. Let's grab number 78.
Number 78.
Number 78. Maybe you can take this one.
I've got the double mic now. I can hold one for you too. So this is like a little goblin cat looking thing, I'm going to say.
Yeah, I think so. Whatever it is, it's very cute.
It's very cute. I love the colours too. I've
Yeah.
been more and more. I've been leaning into purple as a really strong, fun colour to play around with and paint.
Yeah.
Considering I normally stick with browns, but this is lovely. I love all the little OSL they've got around here for the jack-o'-lanterns and the candles. Picture looks
picture's
good.
okay. We might need to up just the brightness a smidge, but outside of that, what's it like? Again, give us direct feedback.
Yeah, if you chat, if you don't like it, how it's looking, let us know. Let me scooch back. Yeah, perfect.
Look at that.
Sweet.
Bang.
There we go.
Thank you, Tech Aid, Mr. Tech Aid Denizen.
Tech Maestro Dennison.
Yeah, this is a great little piece. I mean, if this is just the standard of standard, then I think our judges have got a lot to look forward to
Yeah.
with what they're going to be looking at today, because I think this is an absolute treat.
It's such a good little composition too that they've done there, because originally I thought, oh, is this like how it came? But it looks like no, they've actually assembled this all. So a nice little composition with a fun little character. on the top.
Love this little hat turning into an eye.
Yeah, I like the
I'm,
eye.
I'm not a big D&D guy, but I'm sure there's probably some references. I mean, it
Yeah.
might not be D&D at all, but
Some sort of generic fantasy.
yeah,
funs.
it definitely feels like a piece of gear, though, doesn't it?
Yeah, yeah. Some
Super
sort
cute.
of cursed hat.
Yeah, super cute. Great composition. Colours in the great spot. Very eye-catching.
Yeah,
Nothing's
straight away.
competing too much, you know.
I do wonder what the MFG stands for.
Yeah, I'm
That's
sure
the
we'll
secret,
find out
yeah.
over the weekend, but maybe My Friendly Goblin.
Yeah.
Yeah. Either way, that's super cool. Awesome, fun little figure. Did you see this one? Super fun. Yeah.
I'm just going to get shirts, by
Yeah.
the way. They're downstairs.
Oh,
Sounds
fantastic.
good. Our shirts have arrived, our second part of merchandising. Let's now go from something whimsical and quite eerie
Yeah, to
into
the opposite.
something that is not whimsical and is just very
a bloodbath.
graphically violent. So
Look at this guy.
So here we've got I think his Maruk, that was his name from memory. I might be wrong on that. It's testing my memory now. This is a Black Sun figure that was done. It was a really big feature figure probably like 5 years ago.
Yeah, it was. I believe even Trent's painted one of these. As
Yeah,
well.
a lot of people.
It's a really-
Again, bust or 75.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's quite a graphic one.
Really, I'm a fan of muted, desaturated palettes. That's
Yep.
like some of my favourite stuff in painting.
Yep.
So seeing this, I really enjoy the colour palette.
Yeah,
they used.
yeah, it's super cool. Good composition, really straightforward. You know, this is sort of what I would consider a very staple miniature presentation. You know, square plinth, rectangle backdrop.
Yep.
You know, backdrop that's there to for the most part complement the piece.
Yep. Not to take away from
Not
it
to
or
take
anything.
away from it.
Yeah.
It's a very clear and distinct story. This guy is in a dungeon, and it's rain and blood.
Yeah, it's called
you know.
the Bloodbath.
Yeah. So, and he's getting busy with it. So
Yeah.
it's real classic barbarian style vibe, painted with that in mind. Really cool.
I really, really like it.
Some nice use of green in here to
Yeah,
bring in
true.
some transition, bring in some colder elements. Yeah. super
Now, is
cool.
that metallic paint too on the armor, or is that non-metallic? Man, I can't really tell.
No, that's metallic.
Metallic, yeah, okay, that's a shame. Yeah,
But
nice.
it's been dulled down nicely.
Yeah,
It's
that's why it
it's
was
a pretty good
catching me, it
example
was
of how to paint metallics. Is you've got to control the shadows.
Yeah.
So maybe we've got a crimson brush pen. So I guess what we're talking about is sort of like in these areas here, you know, controlling a shine can be a challenge.
Yeah.
So why bother? Control the shadows instead.
Yep.
Make the shine work for you. Yeah, super cool. Completely different. Let's have a look at some more. These are sort of like in the sort of storytelling element of this.
Yeah, so our category for standard, we've actually got categories this year as well, which has helped. So we have the open, we've got single figure, we've got bludge and bust, and then we have unit.
Yeah. So this one here is quite a large. Like as you can see, it's a large plinth. Telling an interesting little story. I can hold this now
Yeah, I'll
for
show
you.
this.
Yeah.
You can have the stable. I'll have the.
So again, fits into this sort of whimsical. We flip back to whimsical now with what looks to be a cute little goblin bard.
Yep.
Just hanging out in the forest, playing some tunes. Maybe might look for a little, a little bite to eat later on.
So I love these little secret Easter egg
Yeah.
things on miniatures. That's some of my favourite part about painting like the 28mm and just under scale. So it's great seeing little hidden gems like that.
Yeah. I mean, it goes so far for your storytelling elements. Little familiars and little friends that people can enjoy.
They've done
Super cool.
splash effects in there too.
Yeah, there's some light splash
nice,
effects in there. Definitely exploring that. It looks like.
Yeah.
It's an interesting composition from a negative space perspective.
Yeah.
It's like it's not completely negative, but it's kind of like working for it anyway. Just because you've got this little. I might just put my mic down. This little section here. Like in through here, you can actually peer through there pretty nicely. It's a little dark on the screen, but in the hand you can sort of see through. So, just another fun little storytelling single sort of figure piece. Super cool, super cute. We'll keep on moving. Let's go to just a staple of miniature painting. Hey, what's a competition without some hams? So we've got a very nice Eldari
I was going to say
Autark.
this is an Eldar, is it?
It is, yeah. This is what looks to be an Eldari Autark with jump pack or with wings.
Oh wait, is that a backpack?
Like
a jetpack.
Yeah, so it is, but it's also wings. So
Wow.
I think they're the way they've been done is kind of like their ethereal, or ephemeral, or whatever the word is.
Angelic or whatever.
Yeah. So
nice.
super cool. Our t-shirts have just arrived. Put them there and we'll show them off on the stream too. Hey guys, how are ya? Some friends of mine who have just turned up in the back there. Super cool thing for this one is I guess at standard we see varying levels of understanding of light, right? And you can see some intermediate. Let me try and get the angle right there. Some intermediate level. You can see some beginner level, and then you can start to see some more advanced levels.
Yeah.
This one here, I think, is sort of leaning into the more advanced level.
100%.
Super cool. Love the base.
The base is really,
base.
really well done.
It's like conch, sort of like all these stacked stones here. They kind of look like a conch shell. I think they're just stacked stones. Very Eldar trope is, floating, unusual stones. You see it in Star Wars a lot as well, at times, stuff like that. So. Yeah, really, really cool. It's got all of those classic hallmarks for an Eldar character. They love that sort of, I don't know the correct term, so this is going to be a bit of a layman's, but these sort of feudal Japan style battles.
Yeah.
Always really popular. Always a great place to demonstrate some freehand.
Yeah.
This is probably, I probably could talk about stuff like this forever. This is sort of less of what you look at in miniature painting. But yeah, I think very cool.
I always like seeing what people do with miniatures too, especially that's where my kind of focus is at the moment, and how they base things. So it's really good to see.
Yeah,
I really like it a lot.
Yeah, there's some movement involved in it as well. But for me, particular, like what's quite stimulating to look at is just these colours in the colours in the base here and here.
Yeah.
Like they really are they're quite evoking. So
and they complement the figure too with how bright and intense it is.
Yeah. So really cool piece. Super fun. We'll love to see how the judges go judging this one out.
Yeah. Standard judges have got their work cut out this year. It's a huge pool.
Dude, let me just load some stuff in. Let's bring a squad on.
Yeah.
Being that it's a new...
Squad is the newest category this year. We wanted to encourage people to kind of bring some of their sort of squad miniatures along, and this one looks pretty cool.
So we're starting again with some more Eldar, just the opposite side of the Eldari coin, with some Drakari Incubi here. What do you think?
That's pretty cool. I do like them.
Do you know much about the Drukhari?
Nothing. You can educate me. I know nothing at all.
We tend to do this on this stream, don't we? I usually give you a bit of a
This is
rundown
where
about it.
Andy gives me some Warhammer rundown because I've never played and I don't know much about it.
Yeah,
so it's good to learn.
So as we saw in Eldari Autark before, we've now got sort of the opposite side of the same coin. These are Drukhari. So they're the same race or faction or race in Warhammer.
Yeah, but the bad guys, I'm assuming.
But not so much bad, just they represent a different side of their culture.
Morally grey?
Yeah. So they have to commit some pretty heinous acts and atrocious acts, but
Okay.
they're doing it in preservation of their existence.
Yep,
So to
cool.
them, it seems justified.
Yeah.
So what you'll notice, the difference in the figures is the Eldari tend to represent with smoother lines. They tend to be a little bit more concave.
Yeah.
And then the
Very jagged.
Drukhari are very, very rigid,
Yeah.
sharp.
Yeah.
You know, a lot more. I guess a lot more violent in their miniature design. And so, how does that impact painting? Well, we tend to choose different colours, right? Now, you can pick any colours you want to paint, anything you want, but more often than not with Drukhari, you are going to see these sort of darker, more brooding sort of colours.
Yeah.
You're going to see a little more of an emphasis on the more sinister side of Warhammer.
Yeah.
So I think they look like they've got some face paint going.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. Probably marking, certain kills or whatever the case may
I like
be.
how they really leaned into using the blue in the non-metallic blades too.
Yeah. I mean,
just to sort of, contrast well with the cloth and just add more to that rather than just sort of straight grey. It's pretty interesting.
yeah, absolutely. And then the blades sort of repeat on these sort of back posts as well, which is cool.
It's quite cool.
Green is a nice little hit color around through their little their gems and their cabling and stuff. So just a really cool, consistent entry. I can only speculate what I think the standard judges are going to be looking for in squad, but uniformity is quite
I feel like that
important.
would be up there. Yeah.
A great number of miniatures. If you're ever thinking of entering if you're ever thinking about entering a squad, unit size is really important. There's generally some. Yeah, you can. No. Just a big 3 at the back and this one here. Generally, sort of 3, 5, they're the sweet spots for squad numbers. Sometimes 7 if they're small, but usually odd numbers because it allows you to centre point a figure in amongst the squad. And this painter's done that as well with the unit champion in there. So really cool, interesting colour scheme, very dark elder, bases are nice, really what I would expect as a sort of quintessential entry for standard unit.
Yeah, 100%.
Super cool.
And Jimmy has said in the chat, I saw ARC this year requires squads on a plinth like this for organisational reasons, I assume. Yeah, I think it's just also good for display as
presentation,
well.
yeah.
It really because if you think of it too, this is a display painting competition. So displaying your pieces on a plinth, even a squad, really adds to showcase this here, the uniformity of it all, instead of have them all kind of separate. He's even done it in a clever way where he's got the central figure at the front here, which just kind of adds to it, even though it's not really part of the necessary figures because this person overly uses them in game, but it's just a good way to display those figures and really adds to just overall ease of organising, transporting and stuff like that.
100%. And although, if you're in the stream and you know all this stuff, then you know it. But for a lot of people, this is even now we see it in our standard categories, things like get the model on the plinth.
Yeah.
The same message will always be there.
Yeah.
If you haven't put your model on a plinth, it's always going to be something to consider for next time.
And especially for standard 2, this is where it's people's first time coming
Yeah.
entering. So they're learning a lot of this on the day or learning it for the first time this year. So it's really good.
So again, congratulations to whoever this person is for getting your entry in. That's awesome to see, and we're going to move on to some other stuff. We're just trying to get a good collective range of figures.
Yeah.
Let's go to something that's this is almost, in a way, it's like its own sort of category, this sort of, I don't think this is a print, but it's sort of, maybe it is, it fits into the print sort of
I think
form.
it is, yeah. I believe, I don't remember the guy who did print it, but it feels very Dark Soulsy, right?
Yeah. Really Dark Soulsy, really almost a little Kingdom Deathy in a way as well.
Yeah. Great figure.
Elden Ring.
Yes, very Elden Ring vibes, right? They're kind of tall and lanky.
Yeah. So we're going to give that's the angle I think it wants to look at.
Yeah.
Yes, Jimmy, just to touch on what you're saying there. It does elevate the work when you're on a plinth, and this one could probably benefit from a plinth as well in that regard. But because of its large scale, you sort of and it's clear lines, you can read everything pretty well.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
like this person. This is their first. I talked to them as they enter. This is their first time ever coming to a miniature painting competition.
Awesome. Well, that's what we like to see.
And they wanted to push themselves and try lighting and non-metallic metal. So really, really cool to see that they've gone out and tried to push and make something.
Yeah. Get out of the comfort zone.
Yeah.
Get along to a competition. You're gonna learn so much just from entering. You're going to be in the room rubbing shoulders with people you've either seen their work before or you haven't. Everyone's got something to offer. Yeah. What I really like, and what we're starting to see in Standard is people experiment with their first steps in nominal metallic.
Oh, yeah.
Here's a really good example of it. This is some nice stuff to look at here. This greave on the arm at the front there, resting on the knee.
Yeah.
We're seeing some warm underlights coming. We've got a good field of shadow, and then our highlights are sort of all located in the right spot. A classic, like reading well, reading appropriately for what non-metal metallic is sort of what we expect.
Yeah.
It's always interesting to watch how people tackle OSL on bases. How light they want to go, how far they want to cast the light.
Yeah.
This is nice and soft and subtle and probably appropriate for a candlelight.
Yeah.
So super cool.
Great little piece.
Bigger.
Great big little piece.
Yeah. Pretty cool. So we might
move on
slam this one down and move on to something a little bit different now. We're going to go into something very intricate and very small, but we love to see stuff like this. Have a look at this.
Wowee.
I love this.
This is great. What a cool little piece.
So, scale of figure is probably 28 millimeters, slightly exaggerated.
Yeah.
Super small, super cute.
Yeah.
Really, really well thought through. What's not to like about this?
Yeah. Even the backdrop's super good. It blends in. Even how they've gone with the sky up into the flowers up the top there. How it's blended in really nicely.
Great colour choice, harmony all across the figure.
Yeah.
Yeah, the backdrop is painted. It's all hand painted.
It is hand painted.
Looks like a little Spanish villa.
Yeah,
Italian villa.
Yeah,
yep. Everything foreground. Really thought about foreground, background. We've got some classic, sort of what we'd expect for this kind of where the part of the world is sort of depicting with these sort of Mediterranean pillars.
Yeah.
This is a little banger.
I love it. Great little piece.
It. And I love that I can speak very entering judging this year for Crimson Brush on the Masters side means that I can just totally get euphoric about whatever I like here on the
on the
standard side.
Yeah,
I think this is an absolute cracker.
Yeah,
and
great
I am
little piece.
very, very fond of this little piece. This has got a very hint of the old school.
It does, yeah. It's got that charm, right? I think they've captured that really well.
Old school charm.
Yeah.
This definitely reminds me of miniature painting in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
Mainly in its composition and scale.
Yeah.
It's definitely its painting techniques have come forward a little bit.
Oh god,
Particularly lovely. Like the hair is just super nice. It's awesome. It's just an awesome little piece. Whoever painted this, you did a fantastic job. You've definitely got my awe, and I think
I love it as well.
I love it. That's just a great little piece. All right. Let's just do some traditional. Traditional. We need to get our camera twisted a little bit so that we're in focus. Yeah. There we go. We're back. We're going to bring in now. Oh, Trent, this one here, just great. Just great. You're great. I was just saying to Ben here, it's awesome in Standard to be able to just gush on what you like, and just have a blatant. This is my opinion on how much I like something. Yeah, it's good. Let's do some staples, some absolute staples of miniature painting competitions now. So we're going to bring in some Big Child creative figures and some Spira Mirabilis figures, something you have always been very fond of.
I'm a big fan.
So let's open with this one here. No, these are all still going. Yeah. So we're going to bring in now yeah, this is a big child. It seems like it's like a big child staple now. Like everyone's going after this bus and getting out on it.
It's a classic fantasy sort of D&D, like fits that world really perfectly if people are interested.
Yeah, I actually like probably overlooked this bust a little bit. This is the beauty. Like shamelessly, we get to do this. You and I, we
just get to enjoy now sitting back and looking at models. It's pretty good right now.
Yeah, it's pretty good for us, and also we get to see things that we might not have painted or not considered, or
100%.
maybe considered and not. Like this one here is turning my eyes towards painting something like this in the future. I actually think this figure's really nice. I think this person's done a pretty clean, classic sort of paint job for a witch. You know.
Yeah. Yep. I love. Can I just tilt the book up a little bit? Yeah, the book's really nice too. I'm a big fan of books getting painted on busts. Seeing how people do that, it's always something I like. There's little extra details that just fill the world in a bit more.
Yeah. Really great understanding on the light on the pages and where to put that light in order to emphasize the folds of the folds of the pages. Like it's just really cool, really great. I mean, I think you can, and I'll agree now. Maybe not, but I think so. Looks like the standard level, the bar has raised.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Which is great to see.
It's really good. It's going to be. I'm looking at it now. Like even the categories, the standards filled up quite a lot at the moment. It's going to be good to. The judges have their work cut out for them. I do not envy them.
Yeah, well, you know, I'm looking at Liam right now, who just keeps ferrying more and more stuff into standard that he'll be judging later, and he's just like, well. We're just complimenting, mate, that we think the overall standard of standard has risen quite a lot. So he's there agreeing in the background. So. Anyway, back to this one here. Not to be overshadowed by the overall conversation, but just a great,
lovely little piece.
Lovely little piece. Definitely some things to work on as well, but that's the beauty of coming to competition, is that's what you find out.
Yep.
You find out where you are and where you got to go. Let's bring in what I think is going to be maybe one of the most popular bus choices for the event.
Yeah.
I think this one is. Yeah. No, you can keep going. We're all right. No, okay. Well, we're going to bring in what has probably been one of the most popular figures of 2024, 2025.
Yeah, definitely. The
Goblin Mercenary Knight.
Yeah. This figure has gone around the miniature painting scene, and there's so many different versions, and it's just one of those figures. It's a staple right now, I would say. Like the Goblin Mercenary that Lucas sculpted, that was probably the first one, and then he's just like, all right, we'll up it again. And
this is our standard category still. This is still standard.
And that's the thing. This is standard. Like the understanding of light with the metal here is reading very well.
Yeah, particularly on the faceplate, right?
Yeah.
There's several.
This sort of shadowing in up here.
So several reflections that you can see, all well positioned. A variety of sort of colour in there. You know, after this sort of level, it starts to get to thinking about what's in the reflection.
Yeah.
You know, that's the sort of next step where you start to introduce a lot more atmosphere. But on a whole, I think that this is looking fantastic. So what I always find interesting is when you get a painter displaying both types or both, you know, materials in sort of plate metals and then golds, is which one they favour more, which one they're more comfortable painting, you know?
Yeah.
And we can only speculate, but I feel like this one's pretty in between, right? It's, you know, the gold looks as solid as the silver. I'd be interested to find out what they enjoy painting more, whether it's the gold or the silver.
Yeah, it's hard to tell, right?
On this, usually you can see a bit of a priority.
Yeah.
You know, I sort of lean more toward golds.
Yeah, I think I do with silvers.
You go towards silver. Look, this is a classic figure. Looking forward to seeing many different takes on it. I think the highlight for me on this figure is absolutely the medals.
Yeah, same.
I think that's where the focus is really, and they've done a great job. Love the pig. Love all the different interpretations of the pig. Yeah. This is a more subdued pig, and that works well. You know what I mean? Again, you know, composition, you know, strategy on your model. it's important to think about these things.
It is.
You know, you go and paint an outlandish pig, that's what everyone's going to be looking at.
Yeah.
You know, so sometimes you got to figure about where you want to control the focus from viewers. You know, you want to control that. So, yeah, super cool. Good luck to this person in the competition, and I'm sure they can be very proud that they've painted a really great figure. So great, good job.
I'll hold this for you while you grab the next model.
So we're going to bring in. We've got 3 more after this one. So we're going to bring in another sort of classic sort of Warhammery style figure, definitely reminiscent of the old school.
Yeah.
You know, we've got a Chaos Sorcerer. I mean, it's not wearing any markings, but it might just be an undivided sorcerer. But you know, with the pink, the gold, and the cool blacks, it could definitely very much be like an Emperor's Children sort of devoted sorcerer or a Slanesh devoted sorcerer. Yeah, super cool. Really nice little composition.
Yeah, I like what they've done there. Is that bark as well on the back?
Yeah, that's just all sort of like working its way around.
Really cool. Yeah.
A bit of elevation off the plinth to sort of
like
sell
the
the
angle
story
that
a little
they've
bit.
got it on, yeah.
Maybe they could have elevated a bit high, like a bit more to push it off the plinth. But all in all, yeah, you know, nice tidy little Warhammer piece. Again, some exploration into non-metal metallic. It's really funny actually, isn't it? Because I think the first thing we self-reward when we are doing non-metal metallics is getting the shine right?
Yeah.
And then I think we fall in love with that, and we put big pings on everything. You know, everything's got to shine. You can definitely see this trimming here is popping, and that's really cool. As you get further on in your journey, you're just sort of playing around with how to control those a little bit more. Having them at varying degrees of illumination.
Yep.
Yeah, super cool. Really like this chaos warp goo that seems to be appearing in their field here in the sort of, you know, what would be the its right hand side.
Yeah.
Yeah, really cool. Fun little piece. Be interesting to see how it goes in single. So we've had a fair few different types of single figure, so that's always great.
It's good to see like the range.
We're going to pull back to another bust now. This is an Andy opinion. I love this figure. I love the lighting on this figure.
Yeah, that's cool.
What do you think?
I really, really like that. Jeez.
It's a really interesting way. It's looking on the screen. It's looking a little colder. It's actually a little warmer in the hand.
Yeah. Wow.
I'm into this.
I'm into that as well.
Yeah. It's the way that the lights have been done.
Yeah.
It's quite unique unto itself. So this is something that caught my eye when I was just perusing the room, and it really interested me how they'd chosen to do their highlights.
Yeah. It's really nice. I'm now seeing I'm pointing to the screen. The light source that they've done inside the collar there from the sort of electronics around the collar. Yeah. It's really, really cool.
Yeah. All right. I don't know what's beeping. How's the stream? Just give us are we all good on the stream? You can hear us. We're getting some things beep at us, so let's just double check and make sure.
Cuts out.
Yeah. Nothing's being interrupted.
Seems
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. All G.
good.
Thanks,
Sweet.
Jimmy.
Sweet. Thanks, guys.
I mean, I just really like this. It appeals to me. I've never been the biggest of purple guys.
No.
But, you know, that's what probably a colour that, you know, that probably lets me down more than lets the colour purple down.
Same, definitely for sure. I want to try and incorporate that into some of my pieces more. In the future, or just experiment with it at least, because I haven't really given purple a good shot. But
whoever this painter is, it seems you've got an emerging sort of style. And if you watch our streams or anything like that, I'd just encourage you to keep leaning into it, because you've got something here and it's really cool. I'm not sure this. I mean, maybe this is the same painter. I don't know.
I don't know,
because it's got the same level of vibrancy.
Yeah, true.
I quite like this. It's a Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur from Marvel. This is the most vibrant thing on the table. It is popping like crazy. You can't. Let me just. I'm gonna give Ben the mic here, or even Deno, and try and get my hands in. Just take my ring off for this one.
Here we go.
Hello friends, Big Deno Live reporting from Crimson Brush. Andrew has got his hands in this shot, and it is magnificent. Look at Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur absolutely popping off.
Yeah.
Well done.
It's really loud on the table, isn't it? It's like when you walk past it
looks
really
sick.
really pops off. So super cool. This probably leans a little bit more into a emerging style in miniature painting, which is comic book slash comic art, graphic art sort of painting. There's more and more painters. We see this. You know what we see a lot of? Yeah. We see a lot of things like Dragon Ball done in this way. That's been
the anime stuff.
One Piece.
Yeah, the cell shading, I think.
Cell shading's probably, and this probably
that Borderlandsy kind of stuff.
Yeah, really cool.
I tried it once this year.
Yeah, how'd you go with
Terrible.
it? Terrible.
The figure will not see the light of day.
Not for you? Or?
No, as in I'm just not good at it.
Was it the One Piece one that you did? Was
yeah.
it the little Luffy?
I did a little Luffy and it's awful.
Well, it's not easy to just flip style and change.
And that's why that was the exact assumption I had. I'm like, this is surely easy to do. And I was like, oh, I've never been more wrong.
Maybe there's a great conversation there about as you get deeper into your painting journey, and you I guess, you know, sometimes people are pursuing style, other times it finds itself. I think sometimes it just is because you work out what you can't do or you don't want to do.
Yes,
you know?
yes.
So, and it's always great when we bring all these figures together because we get to see all these different variations. So, super cool. Really, really fond of it. Moon Girl was one of my favourite and Devil Dinosaur. They were like early characters in Marvel Snap that were like always really good.
Yeah.
So, really good point of reference for it, and it's been done really well. Done a lot of justice. So, all right, we're gonna flip over to our last one now. This one here is, I think, some exceptional composition.
Yeah.
So here we've got a brood of tyrannid hormigants stalking through a forest. Just a really, really well executed piece.
Yeah.
What do you think of this? You know, people know me as a Warhammer character, so
someone who isn't, I really like it. I think what this adds for the storytelling to just overall is really nice. They've done a great job here. Just a couple of hungry little guys. Exactly, yeah.
And we've got some rippers.
They've just done
some Easter egg rippers working.
Oh, yeah, I just see that little fella. That's so good.
This is an exceptional understanding of composition, particularly in Warhammer storytelling.
Yeah.
This person knows their Warhammer, knows what they're trying to tell, they know what they're trying to present, and they've done a really great job of it. Yeah, so this one, there you go.
Oh, nice. Thanks for the linking. Sweet, awesome.
So, and you can see why.
Yeah, you can definitely see why. Really, really lovely piece.
Really solid.
Awesome to get to see it.
Yeah, awesome. And I think, be again interesting to see how the judges at this event, this will be the next event at CNAT. We'll see how it goes. One thing we can actually talk a little bit about, Ben, to finish up this part of our stream is more and more people are going to see entries from around the world that are seen in the hand and at a online comp.
Yes.
So should we talk a little bit about in the hand versus online?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's good.
Sure. Let's bring ourselves back. Let's have a little look at the display stands. You're starting to see people come in.
People are starting to flock in,
which is really cool to see. This is usually one of the not the busiest time of the day. Yeah, we're going to wrap up soon. We're just going to talk a little bit about in the hand versus online, particularly as people are starting to bring us back. Yeah, more and more entries in both. For example, this here won silver at MPO standard. So, so what's your sort of interpretation of in the hand versus, or maybe what are you looking or expecting to see in the hand versus online?
I think it's like getting to see the true colours for me in the hand. When I look at photos, just on Instagram or social media, I'm judging, in a sense, how well the photo was taken, but also understanding too that is in the ideal lighting situation, right? The most perfectly handcrafted lighting situation you could possibly get for this figure.
Yeah.
Whereas it's very different at a competition and this stuff. How does it look in an open lit room? How does it look under just some generic lighting lamps? And that's nice to see, because I think if you solely base your painting your model under the perfect conditions, it can falter in the hand at an event because they aren't what conditions you're going to kind of see.
Yeah, man. So ambient painting in the hand competitions, it's a little different.
It
you
is.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when you're not, you don't have a black backdrop to put it on.
Yep.
Or you're not.
And I just know from my personal things where I've done OSL pieces for myself and I've taken photos and put them up against a black backdrop, and then I'm like, I've nailed it. And then the photos look good, and I can tweak the photos as well, right, to enhance the contrast, enhance the sort of lighting. And then in the flesh, when I'm at a contest and I'm looking at it going, shit, this isn't as good as I thought.
And there's sometimes there's some taboo around in the hand. It's like, oh, how does it look in the hand?
Yeah.
That's a photo piece, or vice versa. That's an in the hand piece, not a photo. I mean, in the end, whatever.
Yeah, who cares? I think it's just like, if you're happy, like for me, I would say just experiment with multiple different environments and looking at your figure, because even taking one thing that I like to do after Natalia was here was
what's the number one lesson you learned at your very first serious miniature painting competition?
Paint my rods.
Yeah.
But it was take my stuff outside.
Yeah.
I took my models outside just to have a look at it, and I was just like, oh, whoa, these look way different. So it was good to see.
Yeah, so, I mean, do you have any thoughts you want to add? Trent's waded in. He can pop in the back here.
No, you're all doing wonderful work. Thank you, everyone.
So, in the hand versus in the hand versus
what about you?
Photo. So, for me, I guess I really like to push out into the world. I like to do, refer to things. And one of the things I refer to a lot when we talk about this is tennis. Hello, Elliot. How are you? One of the things that I refer to as tennis, yeah? You can be a clay court specialist, you can be a grass specialist, right? Or you can be both. Whatever you're choosing to do it well.
Yeah.
That's my only rule to anything in this whole competitive environment and space. Whatever it is you're choosing to do it well and see it through, right? Yeah. Don't give judges, if you care about judging and you care about results, don't give judges anything, right? Don't give them something that, like, so if you I guess here's a really good one, something that you've experienced, painting the back of your figure.
Oh, yeah.
We talk about this every year, painting the back of your figure. What's your method now with painting the back of your figure?
I paint the back with as much effort and intention as I did the front.
Yep.
Especially for a contest.
Especially for an in the hand.
In the hand contest, especially something that is 360 degrees, right? The first event I came here, I think one bust I painted the back on, and I would call it, I airbrushed it on, and I learnt a lot from that, because it really does detract from the whole model when they are judging that, not just the viewing angle for me.
You can't.
I don't think you can enter say a bust, for example, and not pay attention to the back now.
Well,
if you want to enter
let's caveat with there are no can'ts. You can't. There's
we'll
never tell you what you can't. You can't and can do.
Yeah.
But what I will say to sort of emphasise your point here is, if you present a model that a judge can rotate, look at, and see whatever it is they want to see, then they're going to determine for themselves what they see. Right? They will choose where they look. You can't control them because it's going to be in their hands, right? If you don't want to have the back of a figure be a feature, then find a way to remove it.
Yeah.
Right? Find a way to totally remove it, whether that's to use a backdrop. Get creative in that endeavour. But get it out.
Yeah.
If you don't want it there, get it out. So I think that's some pretty solid advice and commentary on things like in the hand versus photo. Of course, there are going to be some techniques that really excel in photo. So if you're ever painting for a competition and it's an online, then maybe deploy some of those techniques, explore some of that stuff.
Exploit everything.
But there is some distinct differences. And
I like to call that swimming close to the line.
Swimming close to the lines, Dano says. Either way, all is pretty cool. I don't personally have a preferred in the hand or photo. I mean, I think we all look at photo more than we look at in the hand.
I think for me, it's like pick your poison for the contest you're entering, right?
Yeah.
If it's like an online.
Well, if you're going to be a clay court specialist, be a clay court specialist.
Yeah. If you're doing an online photo thing, take a good photo.
Yeah. Take a good photo.
Yeah.
Trent and I have done a few online judging competitions, and that is often some feedback that is handed out.
Yeah. Take a good photo, and if you're doing it in the flesh, just make sure it looks good in the flesh. Yeah, just paint the goods, really.
All right, so we're now coming close to about 12 o'clock, so we're going to wrap it up as Trent and I are going to dip off to another part of the event. We're going to go judge the AOS competition. And we're doing MCP tomorrow. So the judge's hat is fairly on. He's finding new and unique ways to fill my time for me.
He's keeping you very busy.
He's keeping me very busy, but that's totally fine. So thank you, as always, for joining the stream. Again, you'll be back at various points, like I will be
this weekend. For
it's
sure.
always a pleasure to have you here. It's something that I always look forward to spending time with you at these events, and love hearing your opinions about awesomely painted figures. I guess we'll be back here tomorrow for sure, looking at some Masters stuff.
We'll be looking at Masters together.
I might not be in that. That might be you and Trent doing that.
Yeah,
I'll be judging.
We got to keep you away. We got to
Yeah.
keep you away so you can just get the full hit in one go.
Yeah. So all good.
All right, everybody, keep an eye on the Instagram page. That's when we'll announce the next time we're going live. So just keep an eye on that.
There might be some roaming elements between now and standard judging, but don't, if it is, we'll let you know.
100%. All right.
Alrighty. We'll see you soon.